Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star 2, Land of Origin based on novel. So let's start. Luo Feng took action within the Blood Python Association headquarters, causing an uproar on the outside. A patrolling Huyang guard team was piloting the mechanical flow treasure, Fire Yun Snake, a large sinuous fire-red serpent that had already reached close to the Blood Python Association headquarters in the void. The powerful sound carried far and wide. All cultivators must retreat from the Earth net area immediately. It was seen that the power of heaven and earth coalesced into numerous ropes, forming the Earth net formation that surrounded the Blood Python Association headquarters. The location of the Blood Python Association headquarters was not considered premium, far from being comparable to the Primal Chaos Armor sector, hence the cave mansions here were quite cheap, and the whole headquarters was naturally very large, stretching 10 billion kilometers in width and length. The Earth net formation enveloped an area with a diameter of 30 billion kilometers. Retreat. Quickly move back. The myriad clans cultivators watching from a distance hurriedly retreated, staying beyond the range of the gigantic earth net. Morosa and Moyu Qingyang likewise retreated with the crowd. This commotion from the master, Moyu Qingyang, was somewhat nervous. Morosa closely observed, prepared for any contingencies. At this moment, within the huge plant Vine Jiao Legion, that floated above the east city gate of Huyang City. Quick, quick, quick. All Vine Jiao hatches close. One of Huyang's 10 great legions, the Vine Jiao Legion, mobilized urgently. The myriad of true gods, who were previously entering and exiting through the vines, saw the hatches closing and had to jump down swiftly. The entire Vine Jiao Legion became operational, with a peak eternal true god leading tens of millions of true gods of void space, and tens of millions of elite true gods to pilot this colossal Legion-class mechanical stream secret treasure, the power of which was naturally terrifying. The numerous true gods, who could enter and exit freely, were all off-duty gods. Thousands of on-duty true gods were not allowed to abandon their posts. Vine Jiao Legion. There is currently a skirmish happening at the Blood Python Association headquarters within Huyang, said General Jiang Qingrong in the core cabin of the Vine Jiao Legion, listening to orders from Supreme Commander Mo Li Xiao. I only have one demand: ensure that the scuffle within the Blood Python Association headquarters does not impact the innocent outsiders. Whoever affects the innocent will not be spared lightly. As for the life and death inside the Blood Python Association, no need to intervene. Rest assured, Commander Mo Li, Jiang Qingrong smiled. Anyone who disrupts the order of Huyang will face the full force of the Vine Jiao Legion. The apparition of Mo Li Xiao that appeared in front of them had 4 purple curved horns like a crown, and his face showed signs of age. Even as an apparition, he exuded a strong oppressive aura. He was one of the most powerful beings among the 5 great families of the city owner's mansion. Jiang Qingrong, an eternal true god from the Zhu Jiang Marquis, Jiang family, greatly admired and respected Mo Li Xiao, who he considered the most powerful eternal true god he had ever met. Rumble tilde tilde tilde. The Vine Jiao Legion was on the move. Huyang's 10 great legions and the Huyang guards were not restricted by the main city formation, allowing them to travel directly through the void. It was just a matter of decision-making at the top level, order transmission, and a bit of time for the legion to mobilize. But the legions themselves could traverse the void in the blink of an eye, and they had already arrived above the Blood Python Association headquarters. What is that? Outside the Blood Python Association headquarters, the myriad clans cultivators saw the massive plant that crossed the sky. It's the Vine Jiao Legion. The Vine Jiao Legion is one of the 10 great legions of Huyang, and the entire legion has mobilized. The onlooking myriad clans cultivators were surprised. Ordinary conflicts within Huyang City that violate laws and the conflicts among dark forces are usually handled by the Huyang guards. But this time, it's an entire legion that has taken action. It seems the fight inside the Blood Python Association headquarters is too terrifying. The Huyang guards can no longer suppress it. It's probably one of the most fearsome beings within Huyang fighting. We should retreat even further. Even the Huyang Legion might not be able to protect us. Many onlooking cultivators of the myriad clans piloted flying boats to retreat billions of kilometers farther. With the observation abilities of a true god, they could still vaguely see the Blood Python Association headquarters from a distance. Whoosh 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 tilde 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 search asterisk the novelier.net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. The Vine Jiao Legion hovered above the Blood Python Association headquarters as countless vines stretched out, completely enveloping and wrapping around the association. However, these vines did not penetrate the small cosmic domain. They obviously had no intention of getting involved in the internal strife. I wonder who is clashing with the Blood Python Association. General Jiang Qingrong from within the Vine Jiao Legion looked down below. During the day, countless tribes come to Huyang for trading. After dark, all non-residents must leave. During the day, it's the busiest and most prosperous. The city owner's mansion absolutely prohibits affecting the innocent, stated Jiang Qingrong, one of those resolutely guarding the order. For instance, the residences of true gods are absolutely safe, with massive formations enveloping the dwellings of countless true gods, prohibiting dark forces from raiding them. This allows them to cultivate in peace. During the daytime, in bustling areas, anyone bold enough to initiate a killing would be seen and remembered by numerous true gods. With irrefutable evidence, the city owner's mansion is obligated to take action. The dark forces also have to act in more hidden spots. This is why the vast majority of residents dare not pay the residence fee levied by the dark forces. The dark forces have limited members and cannot afford to break the rules, so how can they control the huge number of residents? Only those with jobs within the city, or those who need to operate in the city at night, comply with paying the fees demanded by the dark forces. Luo Feng was well aware of some of the city owner's mansion's rules, and had no intention of crossing those lines. After killing Vice President Lai Mo, Luo Feng waved his hand, collecting the corpse of Vice President Lai Mo along with his left-behind scepter, weapons, and other items. Association leader Mu Yang of the Blood Python watched calmly. Both of them guessed the actions of the city owner's mansion, but neither cared. Impressive, impressive, Blood Python Association leader Mu Yang praised. Lord Luo He, your movement technique is so fast, nearly mirroring the traversing of the void over short distances. I had to. Vice President Lai Mo escaped too quickly. Luo Feng replied. The movement technique he had just used was one of the three great secrets of the Duan Dong River lineage, Donghua. Vice President Lai Mo had been fleeing from the start, and Luo Feng was distracted dealing with those million poisonous insects. Thus, he had to resort to the Godly King level supreme technique, Donghua, to completely extinguish Vice President Lai Mo. Lord Luo He, the Blood Python Association leader said amicably, you've also killed the two vice presidents, and you've collected their treasures. Could Lord Luo He consider stopping here? Stop. Luo Feng was astonished. In this world, having one more friend is always better than having one more enemy, the Blood Python Association leader said. The death of the two vice presidents is not worth mentioning. I would rather make a friend of Lord Luo He. To show my sincerity, I am willing to give Brother Luo He 50,000 cosmic sand. Could Brother Luo He please honor this face? Be my friend. Luo Feng chuckled lightly, are you worthy? Association leader Mu Yang's expression stiffened, and his eyes grew colder. One last question, where did I offend Lord Luo He? Why must you take action against me? You killed Jiarong Yang. Luo Feng said. Jiarong Yang is nothing remarkable among eternal true gods. How can he compare to you and me? Me killing him, it's just survival of the fittest, association leader Mu Yang said. Relying on alchemy skills to accumulate resources, upstanding and honorable, I quite admire that. And you, eternal true gods of the dark forces, are each of you scum. Frantically hunting the weak for prey, preying on those true gods, and true gods of void space to plunder their wealth, you are truly the most despicable among eternal true gods, Luo Feng said. Each and every one of you deserves to be killed. Indeed, he truly thought so in his heart. Whether as a servant, a butcher, or a mining worker, all are upright and proper endeavors. The city owner's mansion only collects the most basic residence fee from true gods, and offers free accommodation to those above true gods while maintaining the order of the city. But the dark forces relentlessly exploit, without any bottom line, even crazily looking for fat sheep to slaughter directly and plunder. To massacre all beings, to nourish their own bodies. Luo Feng naturally looked down upon these eternal true gods of the dark forces. I understand, Blood Python Association leader Mu Yang nodded lightly. However, I need Lord Luo He to understand that even if I am despicable and lowly, as long as I am powerful, I still stand high above all. The survival of the fittest is the fundamental truth. The Blood Python Association leader, his face full of black scales, was ferocious and mad. I want to see just how strong you, Luo He, are to dare come and kill me. He instantly revealed his true body, towering like a mountain, covered with dense patches of black scales. With a slight swing of his tail clad in scale armor, he twisted spacetime, and numerous surrounding buildings were destroyed. Some Blood Python Association members hiding inside the buildings were caught in the chaos, and turned to dust amidst their terror. No. Leader. Many members of the Blood Python Association, seeing the giant black scale-armored tail revealed in the dark, could tell it was their own leader from the aura. They cried out in anguish, but at this moment, the Blood Python Association leader simply did not care about them. Boom. The Blood Python Association leader burned his divine power, his eyes fixed on Luo Feng, and his godly body instantly emanated a fiery blood-colored aura. Die. A blood-colored afterimage streaked across an arc, cleaved through the darkness, and swooped towards the diminutive Luo Feng. Luo Feng stood still, clearly seeing that the blood-colored afterimage was the massive scale-armored tail spreading a blood-colored atmosphere, which, like cleaving through a primal world, enveloped Luo Feng. Huh! A terrifying scale-armored tail struck where Luo Feng had been standing, making the ground suddenly sink, but Luo Feng vanished into thin air. Executing the movement technique, Dong Hua, Luo Feng instantly appeared at the chest of the towering Blood Python Association leader Mu Yang. His arm swelled, and his palm, like a blade, stabbed towards the leader's chest. This blade technique seemed ordinary, yet it contained the essence of the world-breaking Nine Sabers life and death saber, which let Luo Feng, having undergone body refinement, focus all of his immense might into that palm strike. Phut! The palm strike caused the Blood Python Association leader Mu Yang's face to drastically change, as the scales on his chest caved in and cracked under the formidable power, sending him flying backward involuntarily. Armor secret treasure. Has the armor fused with the scale armor? Luo Feng was well aware of the strength of his godly body, and the sensation from his palm strike convinced him that it was indeed an armor secret treasure. Huh! Luo Feng instantly caught up with the flying Blood Python Association leader, raising his arm and cleaving down. It was like he was wielding a great axe, carrying the same grand destructive essence, and he instantly struck the leader's shoulder. This strike was the world-breaking Nine Sabers return to ruined saber that Luo Feng had comprehended. During a closure of more than a decade, Luo Feng had temporarily mastered 3 of the world-breaking Nine Sabers, the Life and Death Saber, the Reincarnation Blade, and the Return to Ruin Saber. Among them, the Return to Ruin Saber, with its destructive essence of returning everything to chaos, was quickly comprehended by Luo Feng, because he had Morosa's Great Tao of Destruction origin as a reference. This saber was the most ferocious and the most destructive among the three. The Blood Python Association leader, being an eternal true god in the tenfold realm and protected by an armor secret treasure, as well as burning his divine power, still felt an overwhelming force cleaving his shoulder, causing the scales to cave in and split open. My armor secret treasure has been split. Association leader Mu Yang felt his heart tremble. This Luo his palm strike is like a full-strength blow from one of Hu Yang's 10 great legions wielding a legion-class secret treasure. Even burning my divine power, I can't withstand it. The burst of power from the peak of a perfect divine body was first felt by the Blood Python Association leader. Too fierce. The Blood Python Association leader even suspected, is Luo he the legendary unlimited godly body? Boom. Following the splintering of the armor secret treasure, Luo Feng immediately pounced again, clearly intending to rip the Blood Python Association leader apart with his bare hands. Suddenly, bang! A massive blood-red hand appeared out of nowhere, fiercely striking Luo Feng as he lunged forward. With the giant palm being so immense and Luo Feng so tiny in comparison, Luo Feng was sent flying backward with a whoosh, crashing into the buildings of the Blood Python Association headquarters, breaking through many structures, and inciting wails from the hidden members within. Ha ha ha, ha ha ha, the thrown Luo Feng stood up, his eyes filled with excitement as he looked ahead. Interesting, now this is interesting. That slap was truly painful, making his entire perfect divine body feel the hurt. I didn't expect you to have a single entity mechanical flow secret treasure as well. Luo Feng felt his blood boiling. This battle, from this moment on, was truly thrilling. Those who have seen this mechanical flow secret treasure of mine are all dead, came the cold voice of the Blood Python Association leader from amid the thick blood light. I gave you a chance, but you insisted on courting death. The intense mass of blood light split into 3 beams in an instant, all of them pouncing towards Luo Feng. Ha ha ha, just with you. Luo Feng laughed loudly, his body bursting with a murky vigor that filled the surroundings, naturally forming a domain, which was the reincarnation Blade Realm. With the reincarnation Blade Realm protecting his body and employing the Donghua body method, Luo Feng was even faster than the 3 beams of blood light, meeting one of them head-on. Bang! Luo Feng's expression changed slightly, for when his hand, shaped like a knife, struck the blood light, he felt its power being swallowed, and the blood light began to erode his palm. Fortunately, he had undergone a round of body refinement, his body now like a secret treasure weapon, greatly enhancing his resistance to erosion. Although it consumed a bit of his divine power, given the reserve of his divine power, such erosion was naturally insignificant. What a formidable godly body! However, no matter what body-refining secret technique you use, it won't save you today. Along with the frenzied voice of the Blood Python Association leader, waves of bloodlight enveloped Luo Feng like an endless tide. Luo Feng resisted with all his might, but still couldn't prevent the bloodlight from engulfing him. Whoosh! In just a moment, the dense blood light completely bound Luo Feng. The blood light transformed into a giant blood-colored hand, which firmly grasped Luo Feng's godly body, intending to crush him completely. Eternal level mechanical treasure, indeed different. Even with my perfect divine body, I can't block it without burning divine power. Luo Feng, grasped by the blood-colored hand, was not the least bit panicked, but instead felt a sense of emotion. To him, this kind of battle was merely a trial. Eternal True God level mechanical treasure contained moves of the primal chaos realm, overwhelmingly superior to Eternal True God level. Additionally, the mechanical treasure could also convert energy, for instance, the Showu wings transformed the user's energy into an even more powerful force, stored within the Showu wings itself. Like Luo Feng's Showu wings, like the Legion-class treasures of Huyang's 10 Great Legions, they all contained moves of the primal chaos realm level. The Oval Fire.et website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. If both sides used mechanical treasures, it would depend on who the user was. Someone like Mo Li Xiao, who was originally strong and controlled a Legion mechanical treasure, would naturally be terrifyingly powerful. But generally, Legions, when compared to the super-strong association leaders like Mu Yang of the Blood Python wielding individual mechanical treasures, didn't have a huge gap. The blood-colored hand grasped Luo Feng, seeking to crush him to dust, die. Luo Feng struggled to resist, and under this pressure, the skin on the surface of his godly body began to crack. He can actually withstand it with his godly body. This made association leader Mu Yang of the Blood Python, who had transformed into the blood-colored hand, somewhat incredulous. Using the mechanical treasure, Luo Feng hadn't burned any divine power and still managed to hold out until now. I must burn divine power now. In an instant, divine power erupted within Luo Feng, operating in accordance with one of the 3 supreme teachings of the Duandong River lineage, the Duanmie Dharma. In a moment, divine power burned furiously, and the might of the godly body surged dramatically. The Duanmie Dharma was extremely effective in burning divine power. The reason the successors of the Duandong River lineage dominated their peers was mainly because of Duanmie. As for Donghua, that was a movement technique, while Undying River was used for revival after death. In a battle, one relied on Duanmie alone. Regardless of the path one took, burning divine power and employing this Dharma would grant a significant advantage at the same level. Boom. Under the terrifying might, Luo Feng's arms shook, and the blood-colored hand was shattered. What? The blood-colored giant hand coalesced into a blood-colored figure in the distance, and the association leader Mu Yang of the Blood Python couldn't believe it. Merely by burning divine power, the burst of might actually surpassed my mechanical stream secret treasure. Luo He, are you an unlimited godly body? Association leader Mu Yang of the Blood Python asked. Merely by burning the power of his godly body, he was able to overpower an eternal level mechanical stream secret treasure. Naturally, association leader Mu Yang thought of the legendary unlimited godly body, which represented the highest level of godly bodies. Keep guessing. Luo Feng grinned, and at the same time, a seemingly ordinary blade appeared in his right hand out of thin air. The blade was dark with a faint hint of blood light, the godly king level blade embryo blood shadow knife. A blade. The blood-colored figure in the distance was shocked. You are only starting to use a weapon now. Die. Under the state of burning divine power, Luo Feng's movement technique and blade technique were both immensely empowered. Even though his realm wasn't as powerful as the mechanical stream secret treasure, Luo Feng's moves were extremely powerful. Break laws with force. With a blade in hand, Luo Feng was able to suppress that terrifying blood light. As the blade light sang like an incantation, it flashed in and out of existence, releasing countless strikes in a moment, each one chasing after that mass of blood light and slashing at it. While association leader Mu Yang controlled the mechanical stream secret treasure, he was formless and intangible, seeming as one with primal chaos, but every time Luo Feng's blade struck him, he felt a terrifying destructive power rampaging and causing his consumption of divine power to greatly intensify. Where did this guy pop up from? Merely by bursting forth with divine power and wielding a blade, he can chase after me and hack away. I'm controlling an eternal, true god-level mechanical stream secret treasure. Mu Yang felt stifled and unwilling. Asterisk. The Vine Jiao Legion hovered right above the Blood Python Association headquarters, with countless vines wrapping around that small cosmic domain. General Jiang Qingrong was quite at ease. After all, unless one was insane, an eternal true god would not dare to cross the city lord's mansion's bottom line. The Vine Jiao Legion came here just for deterrence. Through the Legion mechanical treasure Vine Jiao, Jiang Qingrong clearly sensed two terrifying fluctuations inside the Blood Python Association headquarters, both of them fiercely battling with a strength that even alarmed him. Such strong fluctuations. Jiang Qingrong thought to himself, this might is not inferior to the entire Vine Jiao Legion. Association leader Mu Yang has always been tough to handle, otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to establish a dark force on his own. But who is the other party in the battle? Jiang Qingrong was quite curious. Is it a friend I know, or some mysterious new powerhouse? Within Huyang City, there were many hidden dragons and crouching tigers. For the moment, Jiang Qingrong couldn't guess who would have attacked the Blood Python Association headquarters. Flame Wind Pavilion. Master, the burst of fluctuations is strong, the figure shrouded in grey mist exclaimed. This Luo he probably has a mechanical stream secret treasure as well, which gave him the courage to make his move. He might be able to defeat Mu Yang, but it will be difficult to kill him, said the master of the Flame Wind Pavilion. At Mu Yang's level, there are almost no weaknesses. Unless one completely overpowers him, he's hard to kill. The shadowy figure nodded. Defeating was easy, but killing was hard. The two of them watched with great interest, yet they were just there for the entertainment. As scions of the Emperor Chu's lineage, a branch of the imperial clan of Flame Wind ancient country, what they practiced were also the powerful secret techniques of Emperor Chu's lineage. In terms of heritage, they were stronger than both Duandong River and God King Jin's lineages. Within Huyang City, the eternal true gods they admired could be counted on one hand. The Blood Python Association headquarters had long since been reduced to ruins. His body refining secret technique is also extremely strong, and my bloodlight erosion can't even shake him, a mass of bloodlight being chased by Luo Feng counterattack time and again, but after just over 10 breaths of exchange, Association leader Mu Yang of the Blood Python completely gave up. Enough. Let go of the Blood Python Association. After escaping, I'll find a way to rob some treasures and exchange them for the primordial iron blood sand technique, as soon as possible, decided Association leader Mu Yang in his heart, instantaneously beginning to flee. Whoosh! The mass of blood light instantly split into 9 beams, shooting in all directions. Trying to escape. Luo Feng frowned, momentarily unable to stop him. Luo He, we will settle our feud later. The 9 beams of blood light fled as a voice came along. Suddenly. Buzz. All 9 beams of blood light saw that in the endless dark domain, the Luo Feng standing in place suddenly donned a dazzling set of golden armor, with a pair of shining golden wings unfurling. 6 pairs of golden wings spread out behind Luo Feng. Shouwu wings, originally known as Primal Chaos Golden Wings, only revealed their strongest form under the urging of Luo Feng's perfect divine power. As the 6 pairs of wings spread out, they stirred up the primal chaos, causing the surrounding material energy to shatter, returning everything to the most primitive chaos. What's happening? In some of the ruins of the Blood Python Association headquarters, extending billions of kilometers, there were still some members of the Blood Python Association hidden. Neither Luo Feng nor Association leader Mu Yang deliberately sought to kill these ordinary members. So there were quite a few lucky ones still alive. At this moment, they saw a series of murky currents appearing in the distance amidst the darkness. Wherever these murky currents swept through, destroyed buildings, and the powers of heaven and earth in the air, everything was assimilated. All turned into these murky currents. Buzz .. the endless and terrifying power of chaos completely enveloped the 9 beams of blood light, 8 of which instantly disintegrated, leaving only 1 beam of blood light remaining. Under the pressure of the power of chaos, this beam of blood light revealed Association Leader Mu Yang's true body. Control primal chaos. Association Leader Mu Yang struggled with all his might, but found the power of chaos too terrifying to resist. He looked up into the distance. Amid the darkness, surrounded by streams of primal chaos, Luo Feng, with 6 pairs of shining golden wings on his back, walked step by step towards him, each step seeming to trample the entire domain. You also have a mechanical flow secret treasure. Is your secret treasure's primal chaos realm technique, control primal chaos? Struggled Association Leader Mu Yang, still unable to break free. How are you, an eternal true god? So strong when wielding a mechanical flow secret treasure. Both were using mechanical flow secret treasures, but with the Shouwu wings unfurled and controlling chaos, Association Leader Mu Yang was unable to resist at all. Luo Feng looked at his opponent. Indeed, both of them were using mechanical flow secret treasures, but Luo Feng was driving the whole Shouwu wings with perfect divine power as the base energy. The perfect divine power was refined and condensed through the Shouwu wings, already comparable to the divine power of a real primal chaos overlord. When Luo Feng then displayed the Shouwu wings' primal chaos realm technique, control primal chaos, its might was unimaginable. If replaced by an eternal true god who followed the bloodline cultivation path, their divine power would be much inferior to Luo Feng's, and when driving Shouwu wings, the power would be far less. Since you're going to die, there's no need to ask so many questions. Luo Feng was already close at hand. Phut! The 6 pairs of wings behind Luo Feng suddenly flashed light, slicing through the Association Leader Mu Yang's body. Already completely suppressed, the eyes of Association Leader Mu Yang bulged as the wings, sharp as blades, had already sliced across his chest and through his true god's heart. Luo He, I have prepared a big gift for you, ha ha ha, laughed Association Leader Mu Yang, as his consciousness completely dissipated. The leader of one of Huyang City's dark forces had thus completely died. With a wave of his hand, Luo Feng collected the corpse of Association Leader Mu Yang, the left-behind armor, mechanical flow secret treasures, and all other items. It's time to go. Luo Feng looked around, feeling that he had entirely collected the spoils of war, and suddenly expanded his own small cosmic domain. Vaz tilde tilde tilde. The Vine Jiao Legion, responsible for garrisoning outside, suddenly found the dark small cosmic domain expand abruptly. Whoosh, darkness spread in all directions, but as it spread, it also rapidly dissipated. Once the darkness was completely gone, the Blood Python Association headquarters revealed itself, nothing but ruins. As for Luo Feng, he was, of course, long gone. Where is the master? Morosa and Moyu Qingyang, who were watching from a distance, wondered. Morosa, you take Qingyang and go back first. I still have things to do, Luo Feng transmitted through his mind. Yes, master, Morosa understood and immediately led Moyu Qingyang away quietly. This video will end here.